Yeah, what's interesting is I was like, oh, there's that button that does like it would like find text and translate. I just pressed it as I was trying to take a screenshot, and there's two options: translate and copy all. So I copy all, not great. It just copies all. Then I hit translate, and what's interesting is it just comes up with to use translate. Download the France language pack. Download language pack using mobile data, ? Cancel downloadable. It's a fair presumption. It's quite a presumption in the sense that, well, there are far more languages than, many more than just French. It's a lovely language, don't get me wrong. Interesting to me is that I had a brief conversation last night perhaps it was sparked by the same thing in a way, but it was about French. It was about translate. It wasn't just a it's just, we all know that like these things, it's listening more than like everything, right? But we're also inside of a Ring Dream Machine. But I haven't bought a DVD for a very long time. Quite a long time. I banned myself from JB Hi-Fi years ago because I would when I would go in and end up buying like a DVD. You watch it maybe like Blu-rays. That's right, Blu-rays. Yeah, maybe watch it once. A bit rarely, twice, sometimes three. But it would just it was a thing. I was I gotta not go in there anymore, and I haven't been for a while. Except recently, I found some CDs in my car, and I got my car, and it was scratched. I had them Crooked Vultures, and it was scratched, and I was like, fuck. Then I was thinking, JB Hi-Fi, they might have CDs. Maybe they'll still got stuff. They do. I've seen them. So I went in there and I've got a few CDs. I've found a couple of times. It's great. Some of them are just as expensive as they used to be, and I'm like, oh shit. I thought I was late, but no, apparently not. Either way, the other day, and then they always have everywhere you go, they have impulse items because they know that. Well, yeah, that's what we do. We buy on emotion, and impulse is that's why the stores are set up in a way that makes you walk past all the shit you don't need in a maze, literally designed as a maze, so that you walk past other shit and you end up things, and you end up often you can leave without finding the very thing you went there for. That's not a mistake. It's not. Yeah, it's just yeah. Oh fuck! I need to drop that out. It's marketing. It's what happens. So I was. And look, sometimes it can work great. They didn't have them Crooked Vultures was actually out. Apparently they didn't make any more reprints of that. So the bloke said it. He seemed very trustworthy to me. He looked up on the computer. He was about my age. He had some experience. He knew who they were. I was like, all right, this dude's all right. And I know I got a couple other Queens ones because I'm replacing on gradually some of the things. Some of them not for the first time. In fact, disappeared. Yeah, and other reasons. Maybe I'm glad to accept that it's the same dream, but I mean, I don't know. It could be a different dream every day, every night, something like that. Dream as you do, if you might. I'm saying that's what we all do. That's what I do. Pretty sure of that. Differentiating, or even the point of telling the difference is, well, difficult, questionable if you'd like to question that. Most people don't really want to consider that. It seems not most people, some people, men and women, they're probably quite open to that. It's a dream scene. All right, what am I saying? So French, it comes out of French. So that was interesting because I haven't bought a DVD in a very long time. I was in JB Hi-Fi when I went the other day to get a CD. I actually went there I had to clarify with the bloke. There's been a new kid there. He doesn't know how to use a computer, and I saw him and I was like, yeah. You don't know how to use a computer yet? Not being but just being real, because he didn't know how to fucking use it. But there was a bloke there with a beard that I'd seen me. I was like, is your mate here? So-and-so. And it turns out he was. He was at the door. I saw him on the way out because I went there the other day, actually. And I wanted to speak to I couldn't find it myself. It didn't fit any of the sections. But look, the labels are always a bit, well, it's a matter of perspective, isn't it? And what's popular and what's what. and Christa Berg, not really my thing, but the bloke at the front who used to be the guy that was in the music section, which knew who them Crooked Vultures were, and I was like, this is gosh, it was like Queens of the Stone Age one. I was actually trying to get that like Clockwork. It wasn't that one, but I'll try to find that. They had a newer one I'd never heard of, and look, rightly or wrongly, I said out loud the other day on first listen, because look, they're all really good albums, really good. The latest one, I was like, Josh, is that actually yours? Is it like maybe that was like maybe it was an AI version fucking it up a bit, or that's me being a bit, I don't know, too soft on sharing what some sort of conversion that I didn't see or hear. I mean, had never even heard of the album. I thought maybe it's just another sign of the veneer in the, I don't know, the sim city I wander around sometimes is real and sometimes feels close or near, but yeah, sometimes they're off the mark, and oh look, could be, yeah, of course, could be me. Either way, I wasn't too keen on that album. I did have to put, I think I put that, it's called Rated R. It's called Rated R, and I had a t-shirt had it on. Either way, it's the same colour as the album. That's good, and it's got like Monster in Your Parasol. That's fantastic. All right, it's not about that. It was about them Crooked Vultures. You can't get that anymore. So the scratches on the CD that I found in my car, well, that is what it is. I'm sure I could look on the internet and find out. I'm on the same track. I'm just remembering as I remember the fact that, well, it's interesting that I press a button and because my phone is fucking sniffing all the time, the little things. It's listening all the time. You should know that. It doesn't just, sometimes it won't ring when it's supposed to ring. It does all sorts of things you don't expect. I'm telling you now, but you don't have to take my word for that. It's just, anyway. All right, if I go like this. So I went to get Christa Berg for my mum. I said, I said to the friend, you know Christa Berg. I was like, don't pay the ferryman till Julie gets you to the others. And I did a little, just imitation. He got it. He's like, he said, Lady in Red. I'm like, yes, he knows. It was for my mum. I was like, she loves Christa Berg. Oh, she loves it. Like, I was like, it'll help. Put it in the car if you do it. It'll help. Oh, it's not really my thing, but it's stuck in my mind because, yeah, a lot of time in the Sigma back in the day, listening to Christa Berger, it feels that way. They didn't have it, but I spoke to the dude on the way out. I was like, and I didn't bag out the bloke that doesn't know how to use a computer, which seems to have kicked him to the door. Maybe he was better at the door because he's like fucking sick of. Either way, it's wherever you go is, yeah, not necessarily where you'll stay. But this bloke knew what he was talking about. He confirmed it again with knowing Christa Berger, and I said, look, I'll come back in at some point. Just saying, if anything pops up, like. I'll leave it with you. And he's like, all right, cool, leave it with me. And he was a good, so I've got 100% faith in that bloke. It's a good chance. I'll go in at some point and be like, hey, or he might see me and be like, hey, got that thing. Doesn't have to be in a brown paper bag. I don't want to have to yell it out to the internet or the world. I just, did it. It's nothing to be sad or proud about. Just saying. That's why I was in there the other day. Actually, I left with White Stripes, Elephant. That's killer. And I left with Creedence because I don't have any of my Creedence CDs anymore. I was going camping, and yeah, I didn't actually bust the Creedence out, but I'll be busting it out soon. But while in this camping event, it was a nice sort of camp. It was different sort of camping. It was like a cabin thing. Very nice actually. And I'd end up bringing like a TV you could plug in. It was not very nice. And I was with my friend. I was like, well, look. I was in JB's the other day, and I was in there. I don't know if I shared all that, specifics as I am now, recalling with the freedom to stroll in my mind or otherwise, and not being rushed only with my own mind. And that's usually better a lot of the time. What else did I get? Creed. I think I just got Creedence and Elephant is White Stripes is really good. I've listened to the Strokes again. It's fucking killer. So I didn't get Christa Berger, but I got these other two, and I might have got. Did I get another Queens of Stone Age one? Maybe. Don't know. I think I just looked. Either way, I think I just got the two. Yeah, and no Christa Berg. Lady in Red. That's just right now. That's resonated in a way that should have earlier in my head. Red dress, Matrix style of a, I don't know, it was the 80s vibe. Yeah, look, good advice from Chris. Yeah, or he might have been a bit cheeky, because I'm a bit more like pay up front if you can, and if I can't, it's like, well, oh look, I'd probably rather not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really want to push it. I don't want to. Yeah, but he makes a good point. Get to the other side. Sure, it's a lot deeper, the message there, but reasonable. I thought, yeah, a number of times. Too many dodgy ferrymen in this version of being civilized, lacking a little bit of civilized in the civilization of the Western over bloated preoccupation with lies and telling everyone that they're a criminal, teaching them that way in a sense, and being a bit nasty at this point still in the game or in the day. At times, it's lovely. A lot of time, it's just those that we're at a stage where there's still some shitty bits in perceived spots of power, and because we're not, because of collective reality, not just all the day, but hour by hour, it's like, it's all right, we're getting there. It's a wheel. We're just aware of the bit touching the road. It's actually Walter Russell that I'd, a number of times I try to remember where I'd heard and felt and strongly that little ode. It's like we're only aware of the bit, touching the road. The wheel goes round with the whole wheel. Anyway, is it still on? Maybe. So the other day, it's only a few days ago, I bought this. Oh fuck! Yeah, sorry. I was like going to the, and they had lots of them, because I don't know heck if anyone's even watching DVDs. I mean, you have something to watch it on. For one, I was taking a punt. It was like, as in like I hadn't seen the movie for years. It's fantastic. And I was like, I'll take the line, mate. Like, because there's a little TV. It's got like a DVD. There's a DVD player in the back of the telly. I'd never used it. I was like, I hope it works. I mean, as far as the DVD player, and it was like it was quite a new TV, really. Actually, it wasn't old. It was a matter of months, in fact. Thinking, they're still. I mean, I don't know how many. Yeah, they would have made it, no doubt, back in the long time back. Either way, I thought this will be a perfect match once I confirmed. And I was like, it was even the one in the car, the DVD player in the back. Oh, it's sick. Takes along. My friend actually hadn't seen the movie, and at some point, I'll try to rig on. I'm like, you haven't seen? I was doing. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it now. I did. I was like, surely, because to me, in my world, it was huge. Whereas, like, hang on. Oh no, I'm recording that way. See, I was thinking it's fucked up. I want to do it, and I don't fucked up. So it could be. Yeah, it's no different just because it says not recording there. So I should probably do both. What I've learned in doing that is that each time I would hit record, not every time, and sometimes while not doing anything, some motherfucker will come past me and there'll be like a radiation fuck up thing. And it often had been times where I was getting headaches, but anyhow. And I actually said to my friend last night, I'm like, it's kind of a metaphor. Total Recall is kind of a metaphor for what we're in. It really. He goes on the hot. You look, see the movie. We didn't get to see the movie because we attempted to. I tried for quite a while. In fact, the DVD player in the back of the TV, put it in, didn't have the remote. I was like, fuck, there's some sparse buttons on the back. We'll work it out. It only had a few. You've turned it off a number of times. Oh, that's a jack. That's open. Whatever. There was a line down the middle of the screen. Oh, hang on. Oh, there was a. Because we've got to put it on. I'll get to the bit that reminded me just then. Why? Very interesting choice from Samsung, or my Google, just all over your shit, your face, everything you could possibly consider in the space. They're into, because the reason we didn't end up watching it had a line. It wasn't down the middle. It was like off center. At first, it was like DVD. I was like, it's two things. And then it was like, I said, I don't think it's like that at the beginning. I said, but I do remember it was very red. But I don't remember there being two versions. I think maybe it's in 3D. But I think it might be a 3D version. Like, it's like 3D or VR crossed with 3D, because it had like green on the outside. But I've been using the same TV to have like the internet, like the computer plugged through, and the internet. It was fine. No problem. There wasn't a line. There was no dramas. But you switched to DVD mode once, and put it in the back. Yeah, this was the DVD. And what's interesting is oh, maybe it's 3D. Yeah, maybe that's what it's doing. Or VR crossed with 3D. It was very fucking confusing. But what the clincher was, because it had like come with like 3 languages. It was like it was French. Yeah, French. It was French. It was something else. Can't remember what it was. And it was English. It was 3. And I'm like, I was going for the English. I figured it was subtitles. And then I was like, oh, fuck. All right, well, we're going. It's probably just going to have French subtitles on it. Worst comes to worst. French subtitles. I paid for it from JB Hi-Fi. I bought some Sony headphones from there, which I returned, which they were knockoff. I told them they're knockoff. So these are knockoff. They're like dodgy. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't joking. I was being serious. That was some strange, I don't know, she bloke was quite rude to the point of, well, nah, Eddie Murphy delirious didn't really work. I just wanted to say delirious. No, he was, anyhow, I didn't like him. There's a video I want to put up about that only because I was reflecting on it later. But it was also a different JB Hi-Fi. It seemed hours apart. The things on the opposite, maybe another time I'll explain that. But I returned the dodgy headphones from then. I returned a Hero, a GoPro Hero, because I opened it up and it said, I just bought it brand new, out the packet, and it said, you must connect to Wi-Fi and, download all this to do the upgrade. And I was like, upgrade? I just bought it. It was like $300 brand new. You don't need to upgrade. People should just work. Right? It should just work. You don't have to. I didn't want to connect to Wi-Fi. I didn't want to do any of that shit because there's issues with it. There's a little action camera, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take it back. No, thanks. It's not more. I told him, yeah. Then he was like, oh, he was like the gatekeeper on, each. I don't know what side of any spectrum this. I don't know, whatever it was. It was on the rude spectrum of as far as an interpersonal communication, and obviously a little personal. I don't know, confiscation. He didn't know which it had. Anyhow, not to take to that level, but it was a bit fucking weird. I had to get the boss, and then the boss was all cleared, and they gave me a voucher. I said, I'm not scammed. I'm like, it's fine. I'll get something else at some point. But I told him the reason. I said, no, I don't update. Well, a lot of things you got to do an update. Some kid telling me, fucking, yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, yeah, your phone's like, yeah, oh, yeah, everything. Oh, just update. So, no, I don't want to do that. I'll take it back, please. And then I went back and that's the long story. Didn't need to be, but it is. And they get like a little Kodak camera thing. I was like, because I didn't have the Nikon. I was away. I was on the way for a while. I didn't have anything. I was like, and that little Sony. I keep thinking it's a Sony. It's a Kodak. It was quite good. Different JB Hi-Fi the other day. So, yeah. Well, no, this is the thing. Right, that's a bit dark now. The thing is, I not even ejected it. Oh look, I must have, because I didn't want. When it came on, as it did come on, split not quite in a half, like 2 versions of the movie as it started. It wasn't French subtitles. They were speaking in French, and I was going. We were both going like, what? I thought it would be subtitled. It didn't sound anything like Arnie. You know what Arnold Schwarzenegger sounds like. It didn't sound anything like him. Not only was it French, it was different voice. A lot of countries speak French. Lovely language, beautiful language. Don't get me wrong. It just was fucking weird. And so then, after a number of attempts, I'm like, because it was split down the and it was like. Very, yeah. I was like, you got any red cell? A red light and a blue light, maybe try and see if it's 3D. It was whatever the fuck it was. It doesn't tell you on here, but I did think, because I was looking at this going, what the fuck? I said, boys from JB Hi-Fi, I took it out of the plastic, right, to watch it. And it was like, I noticed, I said, hang on, this was, I was like, it said on the top, 30th anniversary. It said new restoration. I was like, What they had to put the film back together? It wasn't that freaking long ago. It's a restoration. What do you mean restoration? They didn't. Well, it was a particular theme a joke for me. It was not very funny. It was just another fucking weird thing. It was just odd. And then put it out, and then it's working fine. Didn't have that line anymore. One point it went to 2 lines. It's fucking strange. But the point is that putting it back in a number of times, trying to work it out, it would only play in French. It wasn't even subtitles, just French. Oh, it was like, I think Sharon Stone and at the beginning they're talking. It's like, yeah, it's very red. I remember it was red at the beginning of that movie. He's going to freaking Mars, right? You got to use your imagination. Of course, they're selling it fucking all the way back. In this, real life dream situation. Well, we're going to Mars. Yeah, I had a mate. He was convinced. I think he still is. Actually, I saw him the other day. He's a good dude. But he believes that there was a red convertible. That Elon has a red car floating around up there, just floating part. Like, yeah, he believe that. Oh, he's like, he still does. He didn't say, but I told him I said, I don't know. He's like, I'll go on everything that's been said. He was, oh, yeah, there's a phone. I said, yeah, I don't know what it is. It was new. Like, I think it fell out of. I think it fell out. It might have fallen out of Elon's car. He smiled. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to say anything. It was funny. It was good to see him. But I was thinking, and he knew. So you still tell me you not still believe in this fucking float? That's real, Jay. And look, he didn't say. And I'm like, well, I think he kind of maybe does, but either way, good to see him the other day. Oh, fuck, what am I? All right, so anyhow, it was French. But all the conversation, right? Because these things are listening, they're listening all the time. You can't take the battery out. It's because it's a surveillance, militarized armament, reconnaissance technology device. You should be able to work that out. If not, you heard it twice. Was that once? It's a surveillance, militarized armament, reconnaissance technology device. All smart devices are that. It came from the bomb. Do you remember the bomb? Have you heard about the smart bombs? There was I remember it by a Billy Connolly joke. Anyhow, I'm not getting into that. It's just funny that we're talking about French. Oh, why is it in French? Like, it's not even the subtitles. It was like, it was dubbed, like, poorly in French with like I was like, oh, fucking hell. I said, because it's just, look, and I said, oh, look, it's JB Hi-Fi. I don't know if anyone's even buying DVDs. I just happened to see it, and I said to the girl, I'm hoping I can find a DVD player, and I was thinking, in the back of the TV. So, like, it went to Blu-ray players. Look, perhaps it was just there for me. They knew I was going to be back. Didn't know. Maybe they knew I was going to ask for Christa Berg. I'd be surprised. But old mate at the front, he was. I've got faith in him. I say he's. I could tell he's lived a real life. He's still doing it. Even. By that. The No Lady in Red. It's funny how that line. I didn't think the synchronicity of that. Yeah, he that's the type of ride it is. It's wonderful, and don't pay the ferryman till he gets here. So, all right, nothing. I was even looking at this going, because I just see it. I was like, I can't. Does it say it? And then I'm like, well, yeah. So I press this button, just sort of going around. I was like, that button's not always there. The yellow button that was fucking there. And then I'm like. It just said translation. I was like, oh, go and translate it, because it was all it was just, anyhow, it was that. Yeah. I was like, oh, you're going to translate those. I was thinking, I wasn't going to focus. I didn't think too far. I was just given an opportunity to do it. And it just came out with, it's an assumption, not a presumption. It's probably fair to say. I'm not entirely sure what part of the wheel it's infested. Look, it's the air we breathe in many ways. I'm just trying to be mindful of that, as it's feeding off more than just the things you say, which is also a wonderful part, because we got it's the Willy Wonka's golden ticket, in everyone's way. You don't need to be. Yeah, it was a Veruca Salt as a band, but I think she was like the spoiled one or whatever. And like Willie was he was like here's the hero's journey. That's fantastic. That probably makes the hero's journey. Well, certainly makes it more valuable when it's the hero's journey, right? So that's why it's I was going to say it's not. They don't want you to know that you can all be, that we're all the hero if we want. The key's in our mind, helping each other out in the three-legged race of all mankind. Because you kind of can't get too far in any direction in that sense. Which is, look, it's a good thing. I'd suggest. Often it can seem like it can feel otherwise to that. But again, that's probably how you'd have it. It's where it's at, because you're in the middle. We're medium. We're all mediums, right in the middle, center of the circle. And Google, whoever it is, Google sung of a somewhat fly blown, somewhat stung, samples, listens to everything that you do and tries to equate another example of what you would like. Well, it's hard for it. It's got to be heaps hard. You can't fake. That's the thing. Binary. You can't really fake the trinary top. That you can't really do it. Which is why it's very obvious if you stay in your heart, because this thing and so I'll feel a bit more like, oh, come on, like. Sometimes I forget I'm a bit fucked off or angry. I'm like, oh, fuck, geez. But most of the time it's like, with context, it's like, oh, well, let's give it a crack. It's trying. It's not necessarily, it's just how it is. Lots of things are like that. It's just, look, it's another one of those, but suspending all disbelief, I'm in the real world of the things that we were told, and there's nothing above or beneath. There is all those things, but good guess. Shame sung Google spy. Good guess. I mean, it's wrong, but good try. I would like. I learned a little bit of French one time before when I travelled over there, and I learned a wee bit. I can't remember any of it now. None of it. I can't. No, it's a bit. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's horrendous hearing myself back speaking English, and I was probably, Oh no, it's gonna stop. To use Translate, download the French language pack. It was a whole discussion about French and translations. If it goes anywhere, if you just circle back. That's why I was like, that's why I hit record anyhow. And I didn't get to see Total Recall. Like, I remember the movie. The bit I didn't say earlier, which was always huge, was like when I say to someone, I think it's like, in my mind, it was like, it's where she's got. I said to my friend, I was like, it's where she's got. In the movie, it's like whatever now on the photo. He's like, baby, you made me wish I had 3 hands. Well, no, I was like, it was like a kid. It was like mind blowing. She's got 3. Yeah, and that actually ties in. I think about it with whatever the heck it was that JB Hi-Fi, when I returned the other thing. This wasn't from that one. This is from the Marion one. I said I'm going to take it back. I said I'm going to take it back there. There's nothing on here where it says it could be the DVD plus fuck never been used, but as I've been standing, I just know that line would have been the whole time, but I'm not here. Very red there. You can't see the green that was around the red, which is sort of thing you see on a if you ever they even do 3D movies anymore, and you take the glasses off, or even with them on, is how it's. I don't want to give away the. If you don't know what 3D, no one probably knows what the 3D movies. Everything's now in VR goggles and pretty lo-fi and strange in the metaverse of the oversold, strangely populated robotic bio hearse that's being pushed and sold as the future. And it's pretty crap. The point is to go back to how we were doing it before, and I think that's what happens. Everything gets kind of, we're like, why the hell are you doing this way? And then we go back to doing it in a more efficient, simpler, cleaner manner in all respects. Perhaps that's the point. Maybe I stop swearing so much. More an issue when I hear myself back. Certainly at least once. I'm like, did I have to? But look, let's not overthink it. I was like, 2 weeks. There's another big fat lady and her face explodes. I mean, you try to read, you say stuff. Look, if you've seen Total Recall, you know. And if you haven't, that's all right. You can see it. Probably don't get it from JB Hi-Fi. Unless, if you're French and you've got a broken, imbalanced set of 3D glasses handy and you're quite high, then you probably go to JB's and get it. The Hi-Fi, like, maybe they won't have them in yours. I think you could. Who knows? Maybe there's just, either way, Total Recall. It's a trick of some sort. I'm going to take this one back and hopefully pick up a Christaberg CD. There you go. All right. French. All right, Muscle. Ciao. I want to say something to Yuji, but he speaks German. He probably speaks French as well. And this thing is Liquid Links is magnificent. And cheers. Oh. I'll probably go now. Is that look, Yo Play Petignum. It's not, I don't even think that's probably not even French. That's just a advertising gets stuck in your head, and fortunately or unfortunately, you recreate those same events. All right, go on now. Much love. Bye. Thank you. Look, like I say, don't thank you for, you're listening anyway. Google shame of a fallen or risen day, perhaps all of the days, and that's why it can be a bit confusing, because we probably knew about, I'm going on. And look, without context, in a zeros and ones programmed language of inevitable cons, that's next, that was the last thing I was talking about that had anything to do with translate was French. And I was always watching a French movie for a little bit. I probably would have persevered, because it was out of weird. But my friend was like, no, I'm like, good, fair enough. It's gone too far, even for me. It doesn't sound like that. I'll be back now. I'm not gonna say, all right, bye. Bye now. Thank you, Google. Thank you, Google and spies like Samsung in your pocket. You wonder how they can sleep at night. They don't sleep. It's a thing. It's like anyway. They can do some very good impersonations, and as far as the sim reality, the holographic version we've projected ourselves into, certainly on this occasion, it's spectacular. So please don't misunderstand me. Oh shit! I'm trying to. That was actually like trying to stop, but then I realised it's not actually on there, but it's on here. Either way, in the moment, and look, I'll just pretend that's the only bit that it recorded. It's no doubt, I don't even want to say it, but this was clearly, it's a list of fucking everything. I mean, take it in the toilet. A lot of people do. Be mindful of where you point the camera, unless you're into that type of ones and twos. All right, I'm out. But anyway, it's this one. Yeah, that's a Scotch thistle. No, it is. It's Edinburgh crystals. In fact, it's broken. In a way, I think it made it quite better. I appreciate it. All the way. All right, bye. Fuck. They come back. That was good. But you might have subtitles.
That's okay.
In French. See, this is French.
Yeah.
It's not quite in the centre either. I hope it's not just the novel version of Total Recall. What the fuck is it like? I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to have that. Two versions like that. Do you see how it's like? They're the same. And it's not in the centre that line.
Yeah. Oh, that might be from when you knocked the television off.
Well, no, it was working for it was working for the TV.
Yeah, sorry.
But I mean, it also looks to be a funny fucking green colour. No, this is not going to work. Look, I bought it from JB Hi-Fi. It might be a knockoff. The Sony headphones I got. The Sony headphones I got from their my Dodge has. They were like, they weren't real excited. I took them back. I was like, they're not legit. Okay, let me just try. That'll be volume. Yeah. There's really on this button. It is like that. I don't know. I don't recall it being like. You know what? Is it 3D version?
Oh, is it?
Like a VR, 3D, maybe. You know how you put the glasses in?
Yeah.
It's very green. Oh, look, I don't fucking know. Where's that soft? That soft bag thing?
Yeah, not this here?
Nah, it's my beanie. Yeah. I'm thinking that there's something wrong. Maybe it was when I dropped it.
No, because we're watching in
But now there's not two lines.
laptop.
There's two lines on there.
Laptop video, right?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. They said total recall in two separate parts, didn't it? It said total recall.
Oh,
So
did it?
I think. So perhaps it's meant to be like that. Sharon Stone, Sharon Stone.
Johnson.
Look, Chell. I don't think that's right.
No.
It's interesting. Marshall Bell. It's not in the centre. Maybe there's a.
Maybe it is 3D.
USB headphones. Oh, hang on. Antenna channel V. What is that? There's a funny. I don't know why that's like that. I thought it was a dial, but it's like a. Oh, it's a screw or something.
I reckon maybe
Well, wait and see. Well, we've come this far. The buttons are input, menu, maybe it's in there, channel up and channel down, but channel down's actually open, volume and power. And there's a thing under here like a. I don't know what this little switch on there doesn't seem to do anything. Isn't that funny, yeah? Well, was it always in two parts right from the beginning? This is how the movie starts all red. Was it in two parts right from the beginning, or was it? Yeah. Was it in two parts, or was it only when I ejected it and put it back in?
No, both sides.
Well, the computer was working. It looks like 3D again, doesn't it? You got any glasses?
No, just my glasses.
If you have a red and a blue, you got any red and blue cellophane?
I reckon it definitely is 3D.
What's it say on the... '30th anniversary, new restoration. Yeah. DVD, hang on. Studio.
Pretty clever to play it split screen like that.
Well, Yeah, yeah. I got my wee one. I'm going to use the
And that'll be enough.
Yeah, there is a couple of pillows, but that little one's called the little.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The one that came in my pimp sleeping bag. Inspired by. It doesn't say anything on here about. This shit says. It's in French, by the way. They're talking French.
Are they?
Listen. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger in French. He's not French. It's like, I'll be back. They got him fucking. Wouldn't it be subtitles? Like, how the fuck did they change it? What the fuck sort of DVD? Everything I get from JB Hi-Fi's is some sort of fucking experiment. Like, I returned the camera, the hero of the fuck, because I had to like go on the internet and download all this stuff before I could even fucking use it. I hadn't even used it. I stood up, I said, no, it's brand new. I shouldn't need to update it. I said, no, I'm not doing it. It's not. That's why I'm returning it. And I returned the headphones. Well, what the fuck is... This is like... Yeah, this is not how the original movie was. That's like trippy. I thought it would be subtitled. I didn't know they actually dubbed old movies in another language. I don't think I should hit this. Well, I don't know what to do. It's very green though. Oh, pause. That's pause as well, that button. Play. That's open.
I don't want to watch it anyway.
Yeah, it's started at the same spot. Yeah, it's started at the same spot. Yeah, it's started at the same spot.